Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to Small Couch Reviews live. Talking Shogun episode 8.
8.
Yeah, just came on last night, man. Gonna get into it. I know my guys Jovi and Matt have things to say, so I'm anxious to hear that. I hope you guys got your notes. We got a couple questions, and I feel like you already know what I want to talk about, but we'll get there when we get there.
I only got 2 things. I got 2 things, and I think both of them are just hilarious because it was a pretty serious episode. But there's 2 things that I absolutely busted out laughing, and I watched this at work, so like it just. Yes.
That man.
I tried to take a screenshot, but you can't take a screenshot of Hulu. So.
Yeah. All I know is he better win. After this episode, if he don't win, I'm gonna be mad.
Well, we know historically he wins, so we know that's what's gonna happen. But how he wins is the excitement of we have 2 episodes left, and then we still don't know what the heck. This white guy, what is the point? Now you want to be Japanese?
And I don't think so.
Bruh.
I feel like he just feels he doesn't belong.
He doesn't belong with his crew anymore either.
Yeah, I think he realizes that he has evolved. When Man walked to that alleyway and he realized what he used to be like.
Bruh, he could smell them. He could smell them when he walked. And so yes, that's I'm gonna let's start. This started with homeboy asking for the mother's hand in marriage.
That was very interesting.
So that was a
yeah. So
there's a play. So
what was that?
What?
Go ahead.
I say this is more of a strategic play. I think not on him, but on her. She is continuously making moves within this system, and she just has power because she's the heir's mom.
I don't think she. I mean. I agree that she's definitely out for her, but he seems to really like her, and she don't like him. Like she like, nah, I don't like him. Hey, she'll rock with that man. Is she though? And he's probably just trying to consolidate his power because he knows right after Toranaga, he's the biggest target.
Oh yeah.
So they're thinking they're gonna get him, and yeah, man. But what did y'all think this like? Toranaga basically telling everyone the whole episode, "I'm going to give up." And all of them saying, "No, you're not gonna give up." What did y'all think of that? That thing was blowing me, man.
They know him.
But he's telling them a direct order, and they're not listening.
Because it's a part of the plan. This is how crazy this series is. The writing has been just like it's like peeling back an onion to get to like the center of what all of this is for. I remember, I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks back, where we were just kind of talking like, man, like for him to be such a sharp guy, how does he keep losing? Like, how does he keep like getting backed into these corners and seemingly giving up? And like, I think that this was the episode where we start to see, like, really start to see this guy might actually be a genius in the way that he's approaching this.
He wants time.
I don't know.
Time. That's it. He keeps giving himself time.
We don't know.
His son dying is the best thing that could have happened to him.
We don't, and this is the thing. The way that the show has like the theme of like life and whether or not it's valuable to these people, it's like flipping that concept on its head, where we're now seeing like, to us, the viewer, we might see all of these deaths as like pointless, meaningless, and just like, happenstance, just like, man, like, what the heck? But now we're starting to get like little nuggets of like, could this really all be very significant to the in play. Each of these people dying, they could have been a reflection of, in Eastern culture, the idea is you live for a purpose bigger than yourself. And for these people to die in a way that they are dying, could it be a plan to all contribute to a bigger idea? I mean, like this bigger idea thing has been consistent, like where he talks to Mariko, when he talks to his son, when he like, it's like you live or die for this bigger purpose. I'm interested to see how these last.
He even has the line in this chain where he says something like, "What's more important, our family name or the future of Japan?" Like he's trying to make them think like this is bigger than me. Although something that is odd that struck me, for them to be so casual about death, like they're saying, "Hey, we can't control it; it's just gonna happen."
Right.
49 days is a long time to mourn somebody, dog. Like they said. When what's his name, the pilot John, he was like, "How long we got since the son died?" And they're like, "Oh, they're gonna give us a traditional 49 days to mourn." I was like, "What? They gotta wait 49 days to execute Toranaga? That's wild, man."
That just goes to show you Western and the way that their minds work as far as how they reverence death. Because I mean, Lord forbid something happened. Well, we get like 3 days. 4 days if it's somebody really, really close to us. Like
that's it.
Oh yeah,
that's
bereavement leave, dog. Somebody's gonna give that to you, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then think about how the funeral is gonna be. You're gonna be all sad at the funeral, and then 2 hours later, you're gonna be eating chicken with everybody, laughing
at the repast,
and having a good time at the repast. These Bamas
remembering
are
their
sad for 45 days. 49 days. Everyone is sad. I mean, you saw how everybody was moving when they had tea. Everything, like everybody is really sad about this death because that young man may have been pretty stupid, but he really showed everybody he was about that, and he was
devoted to the cause.
Yes,
man.
he was.
Really, that's what the nephew said.
Yeah.
What cause? I got a feeling we're gonna find out in the next couple episodes.
I don't know. I'm getting kind of worried. Toranaga was coughing all episode. That made me kind of scared. Like they don't show that by accident.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying.
He ain't sick.
That last scene, he did not cough one.
He ain't coughed one time, bruh.
Not one time.
They gave him something to have a cough and walk weak. And then now that joint won't cough, he's just like, yes.
The way he asked her, "Are you ready to do what you're supposed to do?"
And they're leaving. They're on that boat.
Everybody.
Yeah, where are they going? What is happening with that whole thing?
They're going back to. They're going back to Osaka.
Bro, when I tell you, when you play back all of the details of what happened, I've watched it and I listened to the podcast. It's actually on the TV now, playing a third time. When you look back at all the little like details of the decisions that are being made, nothing is just for whatever reason. Like his best friend knew that him sending that priest with a message meant the exact opposite of what he was trying to relay. He knew that was the case, and he let them know. And the way that they moved in that one space where they're making their decision, I'm going to give up. I'm going to lay down my life.
He killed himself so that he could have even more time.
And to prove that he was really giving up.
Giving up, yep.
The initial intent was for the soldiers that were going to eventually, the soldiers that were definitely not going to do it, right? He knew that there were soldiers that definitely were not going to do it, and they were going to have to commit seppuku anyway in that setting. That would have shown that he's really about to give up, and they are refusing, and this is a real thing because his soldiers are killing themselves.
Yep.
It was an act of just like self, like he was standing in the gap for those soldiers for him to offer himself in that way. And now it's like no brainer. If his own right hand man did, how much more are they going to believe? Oh, he really is giving up.
Right.
But he knew as soon as he told him, he's like, man, this man about to fight. He's definitely about to fight.
And then he made his son live.
He killed him.
He made his son live. He got back at his son at the same time, killing himself in front of him. Like, no, you're gonna know what it feels like to not be able to take your life.
Yeah,
because like you've made your wife 15 years.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm gonna say it again. 14 years. You saved her from getting murdered.
You're not saving. She doesn't want to
Let me finish. You saved her from getting murdered. Brought her in. She had a chance to have a son. Got Christianity. Made new friends. All this stuff. Okay. Learned Portuguese. She learned a whole new language.
Oh,
and you wouldn't let and she every year she asked you to die, and you say no, you can't die. Now you make her tea. You put this whole display on. You're being very sweet and very nice to her and saying, okay, if you want to, I love you. I'll give you this wish that you want. You can die. And she says no. And she says no. That just proves, like I said last week, it's not him. She just loves Pilot.
You missed it.
No. Did you pay attention to the way in which she said no? She said,
What do you mean?
She didn't just say no.
No,
she didn't just say.
She said no. I don't want to die with you.
That's what she said. You're not understanding what I want death for.
She says, "Look, this is the reality. I do not want to give you any satisfaction of feeling like you
exactly. She's an ungrateful wife.
Yeah. She's not ungrateful. She's had to live in an abusive relationship
for 14 years.
Satisfaction. No satisfaction whatsoever. You're not gonna die thinking, oh yeah, like I finally got her. I finally made her realize that I am worth something. It's all about him. He's still doing it, and she said it so eloquently. She said,
"Yeah, he loved her. He loved her, man.
He wants to be able to control her. He wants to say, if you're gonna die, you're gonna die on my terms with me because I want to die. Because now I want to die.
You know what?
Come on, bro.
If that's the case, he could have just killed her himself, and that would have been on his terms. But he refuses to.
Want to. He wants her to admit to needing him.
He wants to be with her. Well, yeah. I mean, in this, I would have thought that this episode would have showed you our take on their situation because she literally spelled it out. You're frozen in the funniest. I need that on a t-shirt.
How did you get that? We don't love her.
Bruh, he said, "Can we have tea together?" Did you see his face? You see how sad he was?
And
then he had to kill his father.
You know what is crazy? I listened to the podcast, right? And I was listening to the director talk about that scene. And of course, they have backstory that we don't have. And he said that this is not the first time that he has done this. Buntaro is actually a specialist in performing the tea ceremony. He's actually like one of the best in their culture at performing this ceremony, which means a lot for him to do this grand gesture for her, to present her in this way. He executed it flawlessly, right? He did all of these things in order to persuade her and manipulate her into doing something with him in the way that he wants it to be done. Let us do this together. He's like, okay, like,
you know what?
Kill yourself, then go ahead and do it. But I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of knowing that you offered something to me so that you can feel good about yourself after me having to endure 14 years of abuse and beating.
It wasn't 14 years of abuse. You don't know it was that long.
You don't know it wasn't that long.
We don't know it wasn't.
You don't know.
Because he tried to blame it on the
Let me ask you a question. What does he have to do to prove that he loved her to you?
It doesn't. It's
you
not
would have to leave her alone.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. She obviously don't bang with you, bro. Leave her alone.
When he leaves, so he leaves her alone. And then she sleeps with the pilot, right?
Is the spell off? Yeah, the spell. A spell, sir? There's no spell. She just realized that I'm doing something for our Lord. I can still do my job and have some type. I'm fulfilled because I'm using what I've learned to help the cause. I don't need you. And I never have. And you want me to feel that way because you, like you're saying, saved me 14 years ago. I didn't ask you to save me. I don't want to be with you. You're abusive. You're mean.
I've asked you for 14 years straight for one thing, but you've denied it.
Let me kill not even kill me. Let me kill myself.
Which is, in my mind, I think that this is, once again, I might be reaching, but I feel like it's a part of the plan. She obviously has a really big role in whatever is to come.
Yeah, right.
What if
she was able to kill herself? And I think that for that same reason that Buntaro wasn't allowing her to kill herself, neither was Toranaga. Mm-hmm. Neither was Toranaga. But, like,
don't forget, she is a kid. Buntaro is just like, I don't want you to make our son motherless.
Obviously not. If he's saying that we're going to make our child an orphan.
I'm about to say, oh, we can do that here. We can do that after tea.
Right.
But you can't do it this whole time.
You know what? This show is going to end, and that man is going to have a heroic moment, and y'all are going to have to admit it.
No, we're going to find out he's a freaking traitor. That's what we're going to find out.
He could have all kinds of heroic moments. He still is doing it not for her. He's doing it for him. Mm. He's doing it to make himself feel better about all of the atrocities that he has bestowed upon her.
So you don't think that he actually likes her, is what you're saying?
No, it's clear that he doesn't like her. You don't treat someone in the manner that he treats her.
You love. It's not even like. It's love. Like, there's no love there. There's
the only reason why he's doing this ceremony is to try to convince her to kill herself with him. This is about him.
Bruh, like, again, you don't know that if you don't know he was like this in year 1 or even year 5 or year 7.
He might not have been. That's true. He could have not beat her in year 1.
Because he said we were very happy in the beginning.
Yeah, even if it started year 7. 7 years of physical abuse.
Right.
7 years of you not liking me.
Oh, yes, exactly. We don't like each other. Leave me alone. We've got this marriage arranged. You could divorce me at any moment, but you choose not to.
Right.
He could have just divorced her.
He has that power.
Right. He could have divorced her.
The man has that power.
You know what? I'll give you that is true. He should have done that a long time ago.
She would have been able to off herself and do what she had to do. That's what makes me feel like this is a bigger play. It makes me think about the conversation that the three of them had together, where Toranaga was like, "Oh, if you're gonna accuse him, then you gotta accuse her." Mm-hmm. And you could tell in Toranaga's face, he's like, "You better not accuse her." Like, we're not about to accuse her. So I don't know.
That's why he's like, "I'm sorry, my lord," and then he dipped.
Yeah. We want to see how this all plays out. Man.
Yeah, what do you think his plan is, though? Like, let's get into that. Like, what do you think he's using her and the pilot and even Yabushige? Because he knew the pilot and him were going.
He knew
on the ship,
and he even gave a little nod to his best friend. Like he knew that doing that was gonna be the final straw for Yabushige, and he was gonna be like, "Oh yeah, no, do this." And whatever.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, so the pilot and Yabushige and Mariko, they're on the ship, but they're going to Osaka.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are they taking?
Why would they go to Osaka? I'm confused.
Are they taking his body back to Osaka?
Nah, the pilot want nothing to do with Toranaga, bro. He wants to go.
This is what I think. This is my hypothesis. I think that the people in Osaka know that Yabushige is on the fence. Mm-hmm. And if they had Yabushige to give any information, why not have him, if Yabushige shows up with any information, anything at all, right? We're going to utilize him.
Nah, bro. Remember, they sent him ahead. They don't want nothing to do with him.
No. I'm trying to tell you. Yabushige comes. He comes with good news about Toranaga and how he's given up and how he's all of these different things. who's with them that we know has trained for her entire life for this moment. I feel like she's gonna go in that joint and be that assassin. The same way at the beginning of the movie, the beginning of the show, the lady that was there for all that time ended up being an assassin. I think we're gonna see that full circle thing happen, and she's gonna serve her purpose as the translator because of the white. Like, what other reason would she have to go other than to translate for the barbarian?
Yeah,
barbarian has information about trade. I can fly the flag for you. I can do da. All of these things, they've already established that he is an asset in that way. I have information about Torah. I have all of that, and this is my translator. All she does is translate. She about to be offing cats and that. Just like, I think that's what I personally.
Just the whole episode, just running.
For whatever reason, would they? Otherwise, if he wasn't really looking like he was surrendering, if he wasn't really looking like, you know what I'm saying? The only reason why they've been so aggressive towards him is because they think that he's building an army to attack. His best friend just, I forget what it's called, but killed himself, because
seppuku.
Yeah. So killed himself because he's in opposition of the idea of giving up, because it's going to just do so much damage to the family name and that. Like, it looks like he's really giving up.
Right.
So why not?
Let his best friend know. So your theory is that he's just going to take out the leaders, like the 5 leaders, I guess.
I think that she is going to totally.
But I don't know, man. They still have very large armies.
About her. The heir's mom asked, they asked her about it. So you know her, right? So I think they're even more hip to how much she has trained, and she is a force to be reckoned with, but not in that sense. I don't think they know that she's gonna run in that drain and really fuck shit up. I think it's more like, hey, this translator, right? Like, what can you tell me about? And then it's like, oh no, she's a trained warrior, just like everybody else. So we'll see how that goes.
What do you think? What do y'all think that, now that he's kept his promise and he said they can have a church in Edo?
Yeah.
You think the Portuguese are going to play any part in this at all?
Oh yeah, I think maybe that's the end of the last episode.
Yeah,
that'll be the end of the 10th episode. They're coming on the ships, pulling up.
Because we're essentially watching the creation of Tokyo, right? So
yeah,
you gotta, you have to kind of tie all of that in and show this is the birth of all of that.
Let's go into one of the first funniest thing.
Go ahead.
The first funny, or was that afterwards? I think no, that was before. He's look at this land.
Oh
this is amazing. And then he's like, who's that? Oh, those are our neighbors. Our neighbors, they look like, it's like, yes, they hoes. They're whores. They're whores. They're whores next to your church, sir.
Yeah, he was like, wait, courtesans? Yeah, his face.
And he was so stuck. And like Matt said, this is the beginning of the creation of this new land.
Yeah.
And it's just like her idea, and it's still something that goes on to this day. And it's like, but to think that there's legit, and if this is historically correct, a church right on that strip.
That's funny, man.
And when they build,
the tea lady was very excited.
Yeah. Oh, she was crying, bro. That's literally her dream. Yeah.
She's gonna set up the red light.
Yes.
Literally. All right, Matt, can we go back? My bad. Before we get to your second funny thing, well, 2 things, Jovi. I think someone's talking to you in the chat. We got some exclamations. But Matt, while he's checking that, the dude did say the old man said, hey, he sent that church dude as a translator, and he said that meant something. What was he talking about right there?
Basically, what he said was, when they exited the room, he said, guys, he's going to fight. And they're like, what do you mean? He just said that he's giving up. He's like, the fact that he just sent that man with a message means he's going to fight.
Oh, right. He sent him with a message back.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like if it was just like best friend, you know, nonverbal communication. Like, what if you know somebody for long enough? He's known all of his war tactics since he was a kid, 12.
Right.
So he knows how he moves. And he's like, and that's why he knew, even in that moment, what he had to do. Not only to save those other guys' lives, but to make it so that this is effective. Like, we have to show and convince them that if what you're going to do is really going to work, they're going to have to believe it.
And he did this without the man telling him. Like, he just, that's some good best friend stuff, but I ain't doing that. I'm sorry. Man. Nah.
You've been around this kid since he was 7 years old, like on the battlefield. You know that man. Like,
yeah. And he says it. He says it at the end. He said, yo, my best friend, my only friend. He knew.
Yeah, he was like legit about to cry, man.
Yeah.
The hearts. I say this. This is my third time saying it. They say it in the first episode. We have 3 hearts. We are literally seeing Toranaga's 3 hearts through this series.
Yeah,
man. We're at the friend heart now.
But I tell you one thing, whatever his plan is, if I work for him, I'm one of his soldiers, I'm gonna be pissed at the end of it. I'm gonna be like, bro, you couldn't just tell me. Like,
but he's been doing this. Mad. He's been doing this the whole time.
Talk about a manipulator.
It's chess, bro. It's all chess. Every move that they have been making has all been chess, and that's on both sides. On both sides, that's just how their culture. No, their war tactics are crazy.
Yeah, man. But Joby, you said you had a second funny thing. I want to get to that before we wrap up. When they're sitting in the room and all the war generals are sitting there, y'all can't tell me one of them dudes that have the biggest head you've ever seen in your life. It took me out of the scene because they kept cutting to him, and I was like, whoever the editor is an asshole, and I want to find out. I want to send them an email, and I was like, you wrong for cutting to this man's head, and I wish I could.
I know exactly who you're talking.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to put that on the gram, son. We'll have to get a picture of this. We're gonna put it on the gram.
Head came out to here, and now I'm gonna feel real bad if he has a condition or something. But there's no reason that your forehead comes out all the way. It doesn't help that it's shaved at the top, but that joint was out.
Shaving it insinuates it even more.
So I'm sorry, I got taken out of that awesome scene, like
by that big head. Pause.
Oh my god! Like right.
That's funny, man.
This was a great episode, though. Like I really enjoyed finally getting these layers to slowly peel back.
Right.
Like,
go ahead.
No, I was just like, what is the? While watching, I'm just like, what is the end game? I don't see it.
Right.
My man. You know what's interesting? I thought so. How I like John. And I like the way he thinks. And when he went to Yabishuge and he was having Mariko translate, and he was like, loyalty. He said something like, loyalty can only last as long as we're alive, or something like that. And then Mariko, do you really want me to translate that? It's like him and Yabishuge like understand each other, and I really like seeing their like relationship. Like he says something like, "I don't like him, but he's a brave man." And it's just, I feel like they understand each other, and it's so dope. But it's also dope that, like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, these two are probably gonna find a way to save the day. But whole time in the background, Toranaga is just sitting there, like, oh, I knew they were gonna do this. Yes. And it's like, there is no free will, there is no choice. Like, you do whatever he wants you to do, you're going to do it.
He's a master manipulator. He's slowly giving him all of these like titles, slowly giving him all of these little things. So like, I'm gonna give you everything you need. Don't use it yet. I don't need you to use it yet. I don't need you to die on the battlefield. I don't need you to try to step up, and I don't need your cannons yet. Just stay exactly where I have you.
Yeah, man.
Until time. Yeah, Yabushika and him remind me of Rush Hour.
Right.
It's like a buddy. It's like a buddy cop like movie.
Yeah.
That's how I see their relationship.
Yeah, man. That's nice out. Hey, can we talk about how John has learned a lot of Japanese very quickly?
A lot of Japanese.
I was going to ask you guys that. How long have they been there?
Right.
He said months, so it hasn't been. I think it's been a year.
It's been an entire like 2 seasons. It's been 2 seasons.
Okay.
So 6 months.
Maybe that.
Yeah, because they've gone all the way. They've gone all the way to winter. When they got there, it was definitely fall. Like not even the beginning of fall. It was clearly still like warm. Like warm.
Yeah.
So
like
I remember on the ground at some point.
Yeah.
Right?
When they got there, it was definitely warm. And then so like I'm thinking, I mean, to make it makes a little more sense. 6 months of hearing nothing but Japanese.
Yeah. And I mean they definitely kind of pitch him as a very like curious and like sharp, inquisitive person.
Yeah, that's true.
And there has to be some logic between the Portuguese and Japanese, like how they are able to catch on to these both sides. Like for us, we're hearing English, but Marigo she speaks perfect Portuguese. They tried to downplay it in the first episode, but in reality, like there's no she learned
that pretty quickly too. That's true.
She needs no translation. And she's what, 12 years they say, or 10 years she's been learning it, something like that. So
ever since she became a Christian.
Yeah.
When she was still alive because her husband let her live.
Oh my God.
So
all a part of the plan.
Yeah, man. That's cool. I was just curious because my man knew, like, when he said he knew the word for charcoal, which is not a word you normally would hear, and I was just like, okay.
Oh man, that priest dude, that he don't like that another white man's come in and has built this relationship with this clan. He doesn't like it at all. Yeah,
he's like, you gonna wear those clothes?
Yeah,
he's like, yeah.
He's like, I think I am. And I'm about to go take a bath. I like those now.
Yeah, man. Now he ain't walking around. Yeah, that's funny. He has changed. He's changed a lot.
He
switched up on us, man.
Weird.
He went back to his hood and they didn't even recognize him.
Bruh, he beat that dude. To a pulp, but he was drunk, so it didn't really count.
Right.
He didn't have to keep hitting them. He took out the fact that he doesn't know what to do out on that man.
Yeah.
He's so confused right now.
Yeah, it seems like his crew is happy there, bro. Like because he's like, we should go home. And they're like, nah. We've been here too long.
Another interesting fact from the podcast. In the book, and in real life, 10 members of the crew live and they do settle in Osaka and marry and so they definitely stayed and they definitely got, I guess, with like you say, comfortable.
Yeah,
man.
They got up in them brothels.
All right, bet, yeah.
Right. So it's like, are we about to have 6 men? Six other barbarians just living.
Which that was interesting. Now I have to look this up because I don't know why. Because remember you mentioned Blue Eye Samurai? I watched it, and in that they said during that era, like the era we're about to come up on, she said there were only like 4 white men in the country.
Well, that's a clearly a lot more. No, that's a totally different universe.
Well, no, I know, I got you, but I know there was a period of Japanese like isolation, so that's why I was just saying that.
Yeah,
but
it might have been since in this they say that they've had guns for a while.
Right. Blue Eye Samurai didn't have guns.
Like right when guns start arriving in in this part of the world.
No, I'm probably just thinking too much, or not thinking, or maybe.
No, I mean that's a good connection to make, though. That's a good connection to make.
But yeah, man. So I mean, these last 2 episodes has been a lot of prep work. I feel like now we come ahead. Something's gonna go down next week, bro. And
something big.
We're gonna be here to talk about it. Ooh. But yeah, man. I mean, that's all I got, y'all. Unless y'all got anything else, I think that we are all in agreement.
No,
you know, it's been
that man's head was huge.
Yeah, Joby, you gotta snap a picture with your phone. You gotta post it so we can all see what you talk about.
The biggest head in Japan.
I'm looking at it right now.
The biggest head in Japan.
I don't got that. Oh my god!
See, now you're gonna make me. I'm gonna have to look that joint up right when we get off, man. But yeah, even when this joint is like, quote, it's not like, you know, horses aren't exploding. You know, there's still great. The world building, character development, I'm loving it. So, yeah, brother. Episode 8. People out in the world, let us know what you thought about it.
Please do. Write down in the comments.
Right down in the comments. I bet I was just reading. Something's going on my end. But anyway. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We out. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying Shogun as much as we are. Be easy.
Deuces.